Are you ready for cocktails and conversation? This is Herspiration Happy Hour.
Woo! Happy Wednesday, ladies! Welcome to another episode of
Hey,
Herspiration Happy Hour. How are you all today?
Good. We're great.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this is your unapologetic diva, Dr. G.
This is Cortina Peters, aka the girlfriend therapist.
And this is Louisa Harrell, aka Radio Red. And guess what we are drinking on this cool day?
Oh, what is that?
We're going to drink some Rum Punch because I want to be outside on the beach somewhere. Okay. To make it, you need freshly squeezed orange juice and lime juice, some golden rum, sugar syrup, grenadine, dash of grenadine syrup, and ice cubes. And you need orange slices and maraschino cherries to garnish. So of course, you mix everything over top of ice and you drink it. Okay. Now, for our mocktail version of this, you use all the same ingredients: fresh squeezed orange and lime juice. You can do the sugar syrup. Of course, you have the orange and the cherry slices, and you can use the grenadine. But you can put, instead of the alcohol, you could just use lemon or lime. Simply lemonade or simply limeade. I'm sorry, I couldn't get it out. Instead of the alcohol.
That makes me want to hit a beach. Not the
mocktail.
Not the mocktail, but the cocktail.
Look, we got to get up there in some sunlight and in the sand big time.
Yes. Look, I'm just counting down. I don't even have a vacation plan, but I'm counting down to having my feet in some sand. I don't know about the water necessarily. I just want to sit by a beach. Although I was just in Miami not long ago, so I did get my little beach thrill, but it was cold, so it doesn't count. But you know what? As always, not only is it St. Patrick's Day, it is Wednesday, which it's our WCW.
Woohoo!
You know what? And I'm going first today because normally I don't go first. But I'm having a proud auntie moment, and I've had for like almost 2 weeks. I'm guessing 2 or 3 weeks now. So
yeah, she's been on it.
I know. So my WCW is Miss Morgan Peters, who is a 14-year-old entrepreneur, but here's where I get my proud auntie moment. She is the youngest journalist intern or mentee or whatever you want to call her for We Empower magazine. And so, she has her new column called Morgan's Writer's Block. You all definitely check her out. She just posted her first one on Monday. She had a release. It will come out the 15th of every month unless she decides that she wants to write some more. But I'm telling you, I loved just everything about her first article that she wrote. So definitely check out Morgan's Writer's Block and We Empower magazine. And then you can get that at weempower1.com. So definitely check that out. 14 years old and wants to be a future journalist. So if you know me, I'm also a contributing writer for We Empower magazine. So you already know I'm feeling so proud. I'm super proud of her. So, and that's Cortina Peters' daughter. And yes, I want her to take my WCW. But so really
to the punch, huh?
But really quick, let me explain something to you why I really have a proud moment. Is because I went to Cortina with this idea. And supportive mom was like, "Oh, I think that's a really good idea. And let me talk to her." Then Morgan got excited. So then I reached out to the owner of the magazine and we all was on like a chat, making sure everything was going. But let me tell you something about Miss Cortina Peters here. Proud mom, literally, we needed pictures of her for the press release. I think we had that conversation on like a Thursday. A Wednesday. Girlfriend had her photo shoot that Saturday. She was ready. And I was like, oh, so she's sending me the pictures. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm loving this. So I'm just saying, I'm very, very super proud of her because, 14 years old, a great writer. And I can definitely tell you she has a lot of skills going for her to be one of the best future journalists that will ever come out. Yes.
Well, to add to that, she actually, a news station in Louisiana, where her father is from, actually contacted her dad because he posted it to do a story on her. So when they found out she actually did not live in Louisiana, but she lived in Orlando, they said they're going to contact their sister station here to do a story on her. And she's been tapped to be a guest on a podcast from all of this. So a lot is happening very quickly for her.
I
So
should not have put on mascara because now I feel like I'm gonna well up and cry because
No, that is so awesome.
yes.
But like
so
I
good.
always say, Pam, I cannot thank you enough because this is her dream. This is something she really wants to do. And she is actually working on her second story to turn in for Friday.
So she's gonna post another one soon.
She wants to. Yeah, she's working on the one for Friday, and then the summer she's going to be looking at doing it every other week. She wants to post a column because she's free for the summer.
Yeah, so you know what? She's gonna slave the hell out of me, but I did. I deliberately took this on because I'm her editor. So I deliberately took this on and created this opportunity because I just see a lot of things that she's doing, and I feel like if you have a company and you're 14 years old and it's called writer's block and you want to write, what better way than to give you an opportunity than to put you, especially if I can, where I can make sure that you have a voice, and we always need the voice of our younger people, and in order to hear their voice, you have to give them a platform. So I wanted to make sure that she had a platform, that she can talk to the generation or her generation and the generations under her that's coming. So congratulations to her again, 14 years old and making power boss moves.
Yes, and she is feeling it.
Okay, so I'll stop bragging right now, but I'm just saying. Okay. So,
Oh
the
my
rest of y'all,
gosh.
go ahead with y'all WCWs. I don't care who goes next today.
Well, I'll go next. My WCW is Miss D'Avila Sade Bennett. She is someone who I actually had the opportunity to do our EMDR training together, and she is licensed in Memphis and in Tennessee and in Texas and another state I can't think of, but she is very vocal on TikTok, and she is a younger, very like in your face kind of therapist. I think she's absolutely amazing. I think that the younger generation that she is cultivating in regards to keeping your mental health in check. She always posts like little questions that people can ask in regards to, like what questions you may have when it relates to mental health and your emotional regulation and things like that. I think she's absolutely amazing. She has a lot of energy. She's like a freshness as it relates to mental health. And so she is my WCW for today. And I just want to give Miss Bennett her flowers while she is alive. And she is absolutely amazing. So that is my WCW for today.
Okay.
Woo!
What about you, Louisa?
Well, my WCW is Sharon Wise, who is a homeless activist in the DC metro area. She created a organization called Around Midnight, and that's been going on for 18 years, and it's actually independently funded, so they don't get any funding from the government or anything. And what she does, she used to be homeless, and somehow she managed, well, not somehow, but she managed to get off the streets and get herself together. And ever since she's gotten herself together, she's reached back and went, to help fellow people, that her fellow homeless neighbors, quote unquote neighbors, and other women and men that are homeless. She also helped a gentleman who was a volunteer with her organization create a youth group called Unite Our Youth, and this is also in DC. So people ask her, she says, how she made it out. And she said, 1 foot at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 day at a time, there is hope. So my WCW is Sharon Wise, who is in the DC metro area, and she is a homeless activist.
Okay, all right, kudos. Wow. We got some boss women, and since it's Women's History Month, I mean, what better way than to really truly celebrate the accomplishments of such great women who are
Yes.
making such really great community moves, here again, in order to, to see the change, you have to be a part of it. So, you know, I'm so grateful that we do highlight women every week. So it's not, every month, not just Women's History Month, because we do think it's important to highlight. So ladies, let's get cracking with today, because this show is going to, I don't know where the hell it's going to go today, because
I'm telling you, but I'm excited. And we're going to go on this roller coaster ride together.
I know, we really are, because today we don't have one guest. We don't have two guests. Not even three. We have 4 guests in the house, but not just anyone. Their podcast is called the Arguing Brothers Podcast.
Oh, wow.
Now I'm not sure how you get Herspiration Happy Hour where we drink and then Arguing Brothers. So I mean, I'm like, cocktails and conversations about to be different. So let's bring them on now. All right.
Hello,
welcome,
How you
gentlemen.
doing? How you doing?
Welcome.
What's going on?
What are you all drinking tonight?
There you go. I'm sipping on a little 1800 mango margarita.
Oh,
Okay.
It's my house, so I get to drink whatever.
Oh yeah, but you know what? That sounds like that goes back to that beach drink.
That's what I was getting ready to say. We all in the same mindset. We all just trying to go get in the sun and chill out.
Yes,
Well, I'm just drinking Sunny Delight. So, I guess that's sun.
The sun, right?
You said you drinking the sun?
Sunny Delight.
Sunny Delight.
Nobody got the green beer? Nobody got the green beer for
No, but I have the green. I'm feeling fluffy today.
Okay, that's why you wearing the shirt? Yeah.
Yeah, I got my green shirt on. I got my green in my shirt. Yeah, yes, I came ready. Look, don't even play, because I got me some green shades right here too. Right.
Oh, you represent. You see, I got my green Arguing Brothers hoodie on.
Oh yeah, see? All right.
Yeah, they can go cop that too.
Okay, well, no, we're gonna get to all that. So let's get started right now. I'm gonna have each one of you introduce yourselves. Tell everybody who's watching a little bit about each of you. So let's go. And then one of you all, whichever 4, tell us about the Arguing Brothers podcast.
All right, I'll go first. I'm the cutest one out of the crew. So, the light fun got to go first. So I'm Raymond. I'm from New Orleans. I've been in the DMV area over 20 years now. I met James, Keon, and Donovan playing flag football and just hanging out. And, these are my guys. And we started the podcast a few years ago. And, we're just trying to make things happen.
Okay.
Where is that accent? Because my ex-husband is from, Louisiana, and I don't hear the accent from you. So
I'm trying to be professional. Let him out.
Get that alcohol kicking.
A couple drinks. It'll come out.
Sip of this alcohol.
It'll come out.
It'll come out.
Yeah, that Creole will slip on out of there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm also I go by.
He said he also Keon.
I said
it's more than one.
No, hold up. I said, well, first of all, my name is Lil Deldrick, but I go by Keon.
There we go.
And I'm from New Orleans also.
There you go.
So like he said, we always argue once we got together about sports or just any topic. So it was like the perfect name. You know what I'm saying? So one day we were doing it so bad.
Hey man, we just announcing people right now. Let's go to the man right here.
Okay.
How y'all doing? I'm Donovan. I'm originally from South Carolina. I've been living up here for like 17 years. And like I said, I met Ray at work actually, and then he introduced me to Keon and James. So we've been rocking it out with each other for a long time, and just glad to be on your show. Happy to be in this business and trying to rock it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so how old is the podcast?
Oh, hold on. Let me give. I'm not last but not least.
My bad.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And you gotta put your glasses back on.
You gotta put your show notes back on.
I am.
I might need. Look, I might need to put my real one on.
I was getting ready to say.
Let's do this thing here, right here. There's one more back here.
Okay, come on. Let's go.
All right, so last but not least, I'm James. Been up here, I don't remember. It's about 13, 14 years at this point. We all started this thing about 3 years ago. I'm originally from Alabama. So like Keon was saying just a minute ago, we all argue all the time. We talk about sports and different topics, just not sports only, you know. Keon's got his own little thing going on right now too. So we're not just sports, we're across the board, but sports is our center. And that's how we get together and we communicate and we fellowship and we hang out. And it just started on that plateau. And then, you know, the thought was just to bridge it to something else. And, you know, eventually, at first it was just, you know, just to get together, have fun and do something on a weekly basis. And we expanded to something bigger and beyond. And we're just excited that it's keep growing. And we're just happy to make it on your show now. So we appreciate that. We famous.
Yeah, we made it. We made it. Mama made it.
I made it.
No problem. Like, you know it. So, and I was just on your show. I didn't even know you went by Keon. I don't know. You got all these damn names and stuff.
Yeah, I do.
You know
what? They didn't even know my
Instagram is
real name
Dale.
until probably years later.
No, so you know, then he's like, "Oh, I didn't get a link," and I'm like, "I don't know who this is." She sent the email to. And then,
Oh, what?
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, she sent it to me." I'm thinking, "That ain't even your name." But, okay.
Look, it was so funny. It was so funny
Now
when I was doing the emails. When I was doing the emails, and I was like, "Okay, wait a minute. That says LaDeldrick."
Oh, you're the one who sent out the emails.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't get none of them.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Because I made sure.
No,
But no,
it went to Keon.
no, but each person that no, I had went in and looked for all the emails, so I did send them.
Check your spam.
I did. I made sure. Because I said, wait, this like 1, 2, 3, 4 people. Let me make sure I send all of them everything.
I knew that.
Well, either way, y'all are here, and that's all that matters. Okay.
We're here now, baby. We just give you.
So hopefully we're not gonna start no arguments today.
Oh no.
So you know what? But one thing I will say is, you know, for y'all group collective, it is Women's History Month. You know, for you all, who is a woman that you would like to give a shout out to or that you want to highlight that's going to be your WCW for today for the Arguing Brothers podcast?
All right, I'll go first. My wife, Tiffany Butler, she's the glue to our family. I would be stabbed if I didn't give her as my woman crush first. And then we'll go to my celebrity crushes later.
Well, you only get one.
You want to get one?
Oh, come on. We got to get more than one. It's 4 of us.
So
You only get one.
Gonna get one.
All right, I'll get one. All right, yeah, I'm good.
You better stick to that one.
We don't need to see no tragedies happening.
Yeah, we don't need to see any real arguments. Okay.
Yeah, right.
So mine would be Ashanti.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah,
The singer.
Yes, the singer.
Okay, gotcha.
She aging like fine wine.
All right. Okay, aging like fine wine.
Yeah, mine would be my wife, Sabrina. Like
That's right. Get them wives out there because we don't need no trouble.
Hey, yeah, no problem.
And it's on Facebook too now. We
want to make sure you don't get stabbed later because you say someone else.
We don't want them problems. No.
Without question. No problem.
All right. What about you? I'm not gonna forget about you. So let's go.
All right. So mine is my mom because she just got over COVID. So it was a battle. So she got through. So definitely I gotta give it up to my mom.
All right. All right. That's the best. See, that's what I'm talking about. Some positive men. So speaking of that, so let's talk about some stuff because we're gonna go into all kind of things really. Since you all hopefully this don't cause no arguments.
Well, we don't know because we ain't getting no questions. So we don't know what you're gonna ask. We don't know what you're gonna ask. But we gonna answer.
So you know what? I'm telling you, I'm gonna hit y'all over the head because one of the things that I do is I host a room every Thursday in Clubhouse called Black Girl Activist. Okay. And I love, one of the things that I'm doing is wanting to change the narrative of how Black women are seen. And a part of that Black men have to take responsibility for is causing some of the stereotypes. So let's have this conversation. I want to know what you are doing that's shifting that narrative for Black women that can, I guess, shape and make some changes in how Black women are seen. Ooh, I left y'all silent. That's what's.
What are you talking about with our show or just in
or,
general?
I mean, with your show or just in general?
Well, with our show, we concentrate on having women, especially Black women, on our show so that we can show that, you know, first of all, in sports, there's so much diversity in it, right? But there's not a lot of women. It is a lot of women in the forefront, but it's just not recognized at a certain level. So we make a conscious effort of making sure that we have women guests on our show, especially because one, they're very thorough, they know their topics, they understand the subject matter completely, but also the fact that, you know, it's a better light, and it's having them on our show. It's bringing us actually credibility because we're new to the game, we're newbies, and we need to have that influential subject matter, that expert there to talk to us about certain things, and it's only helped us help develop the show, help to develop the concepts. So with us within the show, we definitely focus on that. That's something that I thought about when we started the show, is we need to have that representation there. Personally, I can only deal with each interaction I have with a woman. I can't think of it of a mass understanding. Like, you know, I can just only post on Instagram, post on stuff like, you know, things that are going on, but I'm only do my personal influence. It's a little hard personally than it is especially when we deal with a show like what we have.
Okay.
And for me,
go ahead.
Do all of us answer that question or just?
Oh, you can. Go ahead.
Okay. And just like to piggyback on what he's saying, for me, you know, even I've been doing a convo with Key, and this month been to represent Black women, like yourself, who was on last week, to show, you know, not too long ago, how women, period, couldn't even, and how Black women get the angry Black woman because they strong and have things going on. So we just want to highlight just the strength of the Black women, who even what's going on in the world today. Like y'all went on the front line, that going out there, leading the protesting, standing up for Black men, because y'all always had our back. It's time for us to have you guys back now, because anytime you see a strong man that made it in this world, he had a strong Black woman behind him. So the Black woman always been the glue to what's ever going on in our race. So it's just time for us to stand up and say, you know what, they had our back since slavery, since years. It's our time now to step up to the forefront.
You need to drink more Coronas, bro.
Bro,
You need to drink more
Okay, so
Coronas.
you look like you about to say something. Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
I was just gonna ask, so what would your perception be in regards to men who degrade or look down on Black women and refuse, not because of love, but just because they feel and they put all Black women in this vat of they're not good enough, they're loud, they're ghetto? What's your perception on that when it comes to the Black man being able to protect the Black woman?
I think a lot of times the Black men don't realize the balance that we all need for dealing with stuff like that. I think sometimes we take it to the point of it's all about us and then they're next. And we don't do a good job of saying, okay, we're a team. Whether you know this Black lady or not, we still a team because you look like me and I look like you. And I think we take that for granted because a lot of times we're selfish. And instead of just saying like, oh, I don't know this sister, but then I can still help her and still keep it moving. And I think that's what we take for granted. Just because I don't know you, that don't mean I can't help you. And I think that's what we got lost in the older, like the years and years that we gotten older. You realize that, hey, you need this woman because sooner or later you're going to need her. You might not need her now, but you're going to need her down the road. And I think we've as men, gotten selfish because we think about ourselves more than anyone else.
Mm-hmm. So now I got to ask this a question. And, you know, this is one of these platforms. It's a safe space, you know, so just so you know, it's a safe space. What do you think is your perception of, I guess, the representation of Black women in media?
it's tough. Being that it's a male-driven, industry, a lot of times women, like on our podcast, we've had more women on our show than men. And, when you think about it, women know their stuff too, but a lot of times it's that old good boy network. They feel women should just be behind the scenes, just doing, not front the camera. And, now that, we're in the 21st century, 2021, women are doing big things, major things. And they're really running the world, Kamala Harris, first, vice president female, like women are doing so many powerful things. It's time for women to want to be in front of the camera, want to have that confidence to step up, no longer the day of being behind your husband or being behind your spouse. It's time to say, you know what, I'm doing me, but I'm gonna support my husband or my mate. But they should want to be, in front of the camera. I teach my girls all the time, be leaders. You want to be a leader. Nobody wants to be a follower, right? Step out and don't be scared to fail. And that's what women have to look at too. Don't be afraid to fail. Be a boss, be an independent woman, own your own business, do all those things. You have that space for it now.
So, because
Can I jump in that one? I mean, personally, I think that women are already there, Black women especially, right? I think that they're surpassed Black men in that perspective. And I think it's really up to us to really get ourselves in a position where we're starting to do things so we can all work in an equal space. I think when Dante was talking about uplifting, I mean, for me, I've always thought that way, right? Because I went to HBCU and we all wanted to get to that top spot, but we knew you needed each other to kind of build off of it. And that helped me as far as in industry and professionally, right? It helped me understand that it's just where you are weak at, right? You need somebody that can help you develop the skill set so you become a strength. Mm-hmm. And not everybody. I have friends. No disrespect to my friends around me, but they're not. Some things that I just can't learn from them, right? And I just can't learn to learn that subject matter or learn whatever it is. So I have to reach out to somebody who knows it. I'm going for the best person. I don't care the gender. So as far as us, I mean, I think it's really us that we need to develop our skill sets and develop our understanding of what we need to do in the future or moving forward, that we can start getting to a space where you guys are at. Because I mean, the ladies are. I mean, it's known they're killing it. We're kind of stagnant. Mm-hmm. And I think we're gonna get there. I think I ain't trying to diss no dude. So if all you got listeners, viewers, hey, listen, I ain't trying to put us down. I'm definitely feel like we're getting there. It takes a lot of effort. I think it's gonna be something that we all got to work together. But I would just say that you guys, I mean, women to me they're there, especially Black women. Black women are there. It's just up to us to start really pushing ourselves forward. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let me tap in on. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Oh no. Okay. Let me tap in there because you're absolutely right. Women, particularly Black women, are there. They lead in a lot of categories. They have the money. They have everything. So, what I want to ask you about, since women are there and you feel like the men need to catch up, do you feel like you would get a little further if you had the support and the encouragement that we receive and that we give each other? If you had that,
like, I've been around. Like, listen, you guys support each other tremendously. Yep. Like y'all have these. First of all, like, maybe because I grew up in the South. I grew up in Alabama, so we all country as hell. But you're funny. But like the first time I remember coming to DC and just being out on time, we went to something. We was downtown at the jazz thing. I can't think of the name right now. Sorry, but I remember just meeting some friends out there, and the ladies that came out there, they had everything together. They had like their meats, they had their food, they had everything. And I said, damn, they come prepared. And that's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. Things like that. Like women come prepared. Black women come prepared. Yep. right? They walk in the room, they know the subject, they know what's going on, they know everything, and they come prepared and they come ready. And and when you say like we need to get into that lane to get in that perspective, you're absolutely correct, because if we support each other like how you guys support each other, you have these moments, y'all sit down, y'all dinner together, y'all conversate, y'all talk about all subject matters, all emotional situations, everything. And we don't support each other like that. We don't I think even in this circle right here of friendship, we're getting there, right? It took a long time. I've known these dudes probably more than 15 years. I think in the last 2 years, we probably had more intimate conversation about things that's probably going to help us moving forward, even and beyond. And even finances, we talk about that more now, because we're close to 40s. Like close to 40s.
He close.
And they are.
He close. He the baby of the group. But we're talking about these things more now. So many things when we were in our 20s.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, we were coming we used to play flag football together. We were coming out for hanging out the night before. We just came from dream of love, and walked in the house at 2:00 in the morning. And went and played 8:00 in the morning and play flag football. That's just, but we associate these different as you mature, you get older. But you guys are already there. You already matured. You already understand. You get it, and you need that support circle.
So I'm just going to go back and talk about equity a little bit, because I know, and Cortina, you can tell me how you feel about this. Black women, we are not there, because no matter what our successes look like, we are still underrepresented and we are still undervalued. And until you trying to figure out how we can get that to change, where we get equitable health care and wage, because we still not paid what white women are paid. So to me, in order for us to get there, we really need to see equality, what real equality looks like. Even in media, there's not a lot of Black faces in the media, like media journalism, and if there is, it's not supported. And if you look at most small businesses, they're not supported, not unless we need to normalize people paying, real prices for Black business, not feeling like Black has to come with a discount. So for me, I look at things a little bit differently. I also feel like we don't get the same level of support. If I said I just started my business, I don't get as many likes, but let me post myself on the beach with a snake around my neck on vacation. I got a whole bunch. So the level of support, I mean, people fail to realize that if you cannot afford to support, there's varying ways that you can support a Black business, whether it's sharing and all of that stuff. But one of the biggest problems is that when people look at Black business, they think discount. And to get out of that mindset. So until that changes, I don't consider us being there. So I don't know how you feel about that, Cortina.
But another thing is, so for example, a lot of times, people put Black business like on this huge pedestal. Like you go there, you have one negative experience and you want to blast them all over social media. But how many times do you go to Macy's and the lady don't even recognize you or acknowledge that you are there, but you still continue to patronize them time after time and spend your Black dollars at this particular place, who doesn't even see you as a whole person, but yet you want to blast your Black business, who now with all of the publicity and people, maybe they weren't used to getting all of these sales. Maybe they weren't used to getting all of the business that they're now getting because of the push for us to support Black business. And you get mad because your package is late, but you don't say anything on social media about Neiman Marcus, having a 2-week delay on whatever it is that you ordered. So we really have to look at, okay, if we give grace to these large corporations, why can't we give our people the same grace? And I do kind of feel like subconsciously, not that it's intentional, that we expect for Black people to run faster and jump higher, just as white society expects for us to do. And we don't take a step back to say, you know what, they are human too. The same grace I would give to McDonald's who messed up my order and didn't give me the fresh fry, but I'm still going to go through the drive-through. I'm going to try them again and not just totally wash my hands with this black business that I tried because they messed up one time. We have to change that narrative within our minds to say that, you know what, maybe they had a one-off. Maybe they did. Let me give them another opportunity to get it right before I go blast them all over social media.
That's our biggest Achilles heel. We do each other wrong, but won't do that to nobody else.
Correct.
And once we
I
get
recently had that experience though. I my hair products that I buy are vegan from a place out in California. And when normally I tell you what, when that box come, you need scissors in order just to get to your products because they have that stuff wrapped so tight. And this time they didn't, and one of the bottles got damaged. So I video recorded it and I took pictures and I sent an email, and then they said, well, something, can I send more pictures? And I'm thinking to myself, I sent you one picture. So then I wrote them and I said, I took a video when it came. So long story short, I had to remind them that I had been buying from them since 2018 loyally. And I said to them, this was the first time that it ever happened. I said, but I just, I still let them know because I did pay my money and they refunded me. But I even told them, you could just give me a credit on my account. I don't really care. Just, but I didn't get all the product that I paid for. So they ended up refunding me. But I also gave them that reminder that I'm one of your loyal patrons. So it's not like I need a free bottle, but you need to know that go back to how you were packaging them because you never know, you might run the risk of, but I gave them a nice reminder. Normally it comes this way, but here again, it's a Black owned business. And I felt like I needed to be responsible for them to give them honest feedback to them, not blast them. Because I had one bad experience. Will I buy again? You damn right, because I love using it since 2018. But it's just something that simple. So Cortina, you're right. We need to give that grace that shit happens. That point blank, shit just happens. And that's just the way that, and there's nobody operates without making a mistake. People still buying Androids, and didn't they blow up and catch on fire?
I should go iPhone.
It's almost like we have no tolerance for Black people to mess up. Like we have zero tolerance. Like it's like you got it or you don't. When we have so much grace for everybody else. You go to the Chinese restaurant, they mess you up. You're like, okay, well, I don't want the honey chicken no more. I'm gonna try shrimp fried rice. Okay. Then we go to the barbecue spot and we're like, oh no, they were good. Don't go to them. They took too long. It's like, okay, but you gonna go back to Ming Lee and go get their Chinese food, but you want to blast the barbecue place that's, trying to make a living just like everybody else. I just don't get that mindset where we feel like we have to down the person who's trying to come up. And I'm not talking about just regular customer service, because I think no matter where you are, you should deliver great customer service. But if someone, like I said earlier, has an off day, like give them another chance to see, like, okay, is this just their pattern? Is this just the environment of that particular company? Or were they just, overwhelmed and having a bad day? Like, I don't think that is fair for Black people, for us as Black people, to hold other Black people to a higher standard than we do everybody else.
Can I ask a question? Because
yes.
And I don't want to take over the question segment. I know y'all.
Oh no, you're fine. Come on, bring it.
Okay. But so to me, that kind of comes with the territory a little bit, right? Yep. It does come with a Black business. My mom owned a grocery store for like 25 years, and in a small town, she was the only store in that little section of town, like the white store, white folks store, or the white people store was way on the other side, like in the town area, right? So which was like a long walk, or not a short drive, a long walk to get there. But she served the community she was in, so the community supported her the entire time she was there because she served that community, and she was always fair. And I've been in the store with her sometimes when people will say crazy things, cuss her out, get mad, something didn't happen. things of that nature. And it was all these different situations, scenarios what happened, but she still was fair how she treated everybody, how she did things. And that's kind of, I think, if you center our businesses around that, then we can still flourish. It's kind of hard already because, I mean, you're sitting in a e-commerce that really doesn't support you. So it's kind of like when you're trying to build something where the building blocks are against you anyway, it takes away from being able the opportunity to make sure that you give the most to your community. The problem with our community sometimes, in my opinion, I think you said it just a minute ago, like we just have lofty expectations, right? But at the same time, we still want discount deals. Yeah. And that's just the narrative that we work in. And until when we don't control media, so media kind of simplifies that even more. Social media even does it worse at times, right? All the pictures you post, and somebody's posting Lamborghini cars, anything elaborate car, you see that people attract to that instead of focus on the substance of things. But when you try to get your necessary items, you're gonna go to that mom and pop or that store around the corner because you know they're there to serve your interests. And we just need to spotlight that more. We need to put that out there. Mom, I wish you would have had a store in this area we can use the internet and social media, because I think it would have been booming. We could have spread that out. She would never retire. Like,
yeah, she really would have
been
been.
booming. She would have really. I may not even be here right now, right? Like it could have been several stores all around the area. I'd be doing something else. But it was something that served the community. And even when I go home to this day, I may ride through there. They always say, man, I miss your mom's store over there. I'm like, well, man, you should went there more often then. Right. She's going now. She at home chilling. She retired. But it's just a thought that that she made a direct impact. And a lot of these businesses, once they're making the impact they need to do, and hopefully they're making the money, but they're making the impact in the area, in the community, they're going to flourish. I mean, if you look at the lady that has the chain of stores in Atlanta, Sade Vegan, she's making an impact. And she done took that and branched that out to a franchise now. But she started off in the hood. Like that store, the first one was in the hood. And she started with the truck first, then she branched off into the other part. And now she's making an impact in Atlanta, and she's able to branch, and she's now flourishing. So I think we take that approach more. I think we could be fine. And I think just go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
So when you're starting when you're a black-owned business owner, the mindset has to be totally different, right? Your friends are not going to share your posts or buy your product. You're going to get the negativity, right? But you got to push through it, right? You got to work 10 times, 20 times harder, because that's the name of the game. We don't get the benefit of the doubt for messing up an order. Or we don't get the benefit of the doubt of charging you too much, right? I had a friend of mine on our website. She was like, I want to get a couple of hoodies. I was like, all right, bet. Go to the website. Here's everything. She was like, well, your website's too complicated. I was like, what do you mean it's too complicated? And I walked her through exactly how to purchase a hoodie, right? But I said, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'll do it for you, right? Checked out, did everything I needed to do, because you got to go that extra mile. There's no emotion in it. There's no feelings. It is what it is. If you want to get people to support you, keep pushing. You do gotta take the emotion out. Right, you got to. The emotion, it'll throw you out of business. No emotional ties to it. It's business. No emotional ties together at all. Because all it takes is one person outside of your circle to take your business to the next level. But if you get emotional about one person saying negativity about whatever you're doing or your price is too high, you're gonna be out of business.
But that's a risk you have to take too. That's
it's what it is.
Not all money is good money, and discount is not good money. Because
at that time, that money was good though. I maybe get them 2 hoodies.
Yeah, but
that money was good this time.
I know, but so here's the thing, and I just talked about this in an article. One of the risks that you have to be able to take is saying no to a discount, because the more that you discount, and every single time that you give a discount, what happens is over the long run you lose. So it's easier to say no to what's not benefiting you until the right person comes along. You show them your worth, and that word of mouth is going to level you out, and it's going to make up for that loss. So you have to be really willing to take that risk as a business owner, because if you discount yourself, what happens is then they go and tell a friend and that person gets a discount. Or that they say, well, this person didn't pay that much.
That's real.
So you have to learn to put value where you are all the time. That's just my opinion. So, but let me ask, Cortina, go ahead, and then I'll ask
another thing I think that's important is to have mentees, right? To take the younger brothers and sisters under your wing to show them. And I think, and I'm just going to go back to something that we started with Pam earlier, because she saw something in my daughter and is helping her dream become a reality in regards to writing. So it's like another Black figure that I can look up to, who is holding her hand out and helping me to get to where I want to go. I feel like some Black individuals feel like if I help them, they're going to become my competition. And so I don't want that to be the issue. So I'm going to give you a little bit, but I'm not going to give you too much, because then I don't want it to be a competition. And I think we have to get that mindset away from us when it comes to the way that we model and role model for the younger generation coming up, so they don't have that where we're trying to be like crabs in the bucket and pull each other down, but where we're lifting and building one another up.
I think, but you're gonna always have competition, and I think that's a bad mindset, because you're gonna always have competition. No
Absolutely.
matter what you do, whether it's me and you, whether it's me and Ray, me and James, me and Keon, you're gonna have competition whether I teach you or not. So you might as well give them the full teaching, because you're gonna have competition outside.
I don't have no competition. I'm my own competition, because I don't have to worry about what anybody else is out there doing. I'm doing this.
That's what I'm saying.
I know what I know what I'm capable of doing. And so just like I feel like when I saw what Morgan was doing, and I was like, hey, Cortina, what do you think about this? I look at people that, if you can do better than me, I'm still going to rock with you. I'm going to congratulate. I'm going to celebrate, because I know that that's my reward. God has me where he needs me to be at all times, and he's going to take care of me. My goal is not to be a millionaire. My goal is to make an impact. So I'm not competing with anybody. Not a damn soul other than myself. I'm competing with myself to be better than I was yesterday, better than I am today, better than I'm going to be tomorrow. And that's going to be my growth, because legacy is not how much money you have. Legacy is who is after, who's here after you're gone, that's going to always remember you, because you helped them climb and reach and all of that stuff. So we really do need to get out of the mindset of competition, because there's enough room for everybody at the top, and everybody that's at the top, if you're not meant to be there, ride with where you're going to be at. That's it. But still congratulate and celebrate and honor and give flowers and do all of those things, instead of being jealous and envious and all of those things, because God has a place for all of us, whether it's working at McDonald's or working at any fast food, whether you're a therapist, an actress in media. It doesn't matter what you do. Your fate is already there. How hard you want it is how fast you're going to get there.
Okay, let me go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying to elaborate on that, you can tell people who really support you and have your back, when if y'all the same equal and then they supporting you or you down, what you need is that. Then when you elevate yourself, then you disappear, like, because you're jealous of that. So they really ain't for you anyway. When now, okay, so you feel like I'm doing better than you or equal to you. Now you want to shade, I ain't gonna support. Now he think he all that or she all that because they doing this and that. So you really tell who have your back when you're doing good, not when you're doing bad. Because everybody can support you when you're doing bad. But when they feel like you're doing too much, it's like a team or something. If they winning all the time, now people want to see you lose, because they feel like you're winning too much or you having too much. It's not like you said, it's God. It's the reason why he gives you.
God got me.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay, I want to say a few things before I leave, because I have to go on another show. But ladies, we have 4 indigenous kings on our show, right? We got to get into their mind. Before I do, remember, we say crabs in a barrel, but crabs are not supposed to be in a barrel. That's not their natural habitat. So automatically, they're going to be pulling each other down to climb out. So we have to remember that. We can't use that scenario when we're talking about us, because the thing is, if we're going to use that, a lot of us as Black people, indigenous people of America, we're not where we're supposed to be anyway. That's not our natural habitat. So that's why we have so much fighting to get out. But what I want to say to the fellas on here, since you are here and you've been through these things and you're 40 and almost 40, what would you go back and tell your younger self, or what would you go back and tell the young kings? And because you're men, you can talk to the kings, the young king, the princes of the world, how to move forward, what things to do to not fall into these traps.
I think first you got to respect yourself and who you are, and know who you are. Because when you don't respect yourself, nobody's gonna respect you. That should be the first thing, that when you wake up in the morning, you know who you are, you know where you're from, you know who your parents and your family is. But at the same time, you run your own show. You march to your own drum. Because when other people march to you, you march to other people's drum. You don't know who's gonna tell you the right thing or the wrong thing. So you got to realize who you are and march to your own drum. That's first and foremost. Woman, man, you got to know who you are and what you stand for, and you got to follow your own drum.
And my thing is, I would tell someone, don't never let someone tell you what you can't do. Don't let no one say, what's your backup plan? Forget a backup plan. Go 110% for what you want. You can't put 50 here and 50 there and get what you want. Like some people like, man, you don't need to put all your eggs in one basket. Why not? I'm never going to reach it if I don't put all my eggs in one basket. So I would tell people, whatever you want to do in life, don't let no one tell you it can't be done. You can do anything you want to do or set your mind to it once you put hard work in. So you put the hard work in, bro. You should always listen to me, dog. Because I drop jewels every time I speak.
Listen that corona, boy.
But that's what I would say. And that's what I say. I got the floor right now. But that's what I tell my son. Don't never let no one tell you what you cannot do. You can be anything you want to be. Whatever you want to be in life, let's make it happen. Let's go out and get it. So that's what I would say to young people.
One of the things that I say about plan Bs is because if you are planning for a plan B, how can you give your all to plan A if you're ready for plan A not to flourish or manifest or make it? So if I got a backup plan, how can I really say I'm giving 100% to my plan A when I got a backup plan? I'm not saying be observant and things like that, but you have to be very careful when we start to talk about these plan Bs and plan Cs, because that's like me not truly believing in my ability to have plan A win.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
For me, I would go back and control your own destiny. Looking back in my younger years, I would say invest more. Find mentorship. Right? We starting to invest now because the pandemic hit, things are hot. You're getting stock tips from this person. So I would say do it early, because tomorrow is not promised. And get out of the mindset, especially when you coming out of high school. College is cool, but it's not end be all, right? You can still be what you want to be, a CEO of a company, whatever you want to be. Control your own destiny early and invest. It's no longer we working 40 years, 45 years. Those days are dead, right? But you got to start early, and that's what I would tell my younger self.
Okay. So
can I before I leave, I just want to thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate everything that you guys said.
Lisa, before you go, where can everybody find you? Because I'm gonna ask them the same thing, but they can say it after you leave. Where can everybody
okay. You can find me at the Bluefin.
What was in that drink?
I didn't even look.
Oh,
The Blue Phoenix on Facebook and the Blue Phoenix Hills on Instagram.
Okay.
Good night, fellas.
Good night. I'll see you in a bit. Don't forget to text me. Okay.
Oh, you got the front center.
JD, the last one to go.
Okay.
So if I got something to say to the younger generation, to be honest with you, everything these guys said was on point. For me, to me, trust the process. It's not everything's going to happen overnight. Not everything's going to develop. Your thoughts are not going to develop. Your ideas are not going to develop overnight. Yeah, you have a lot of ideas in college, and you got to figure out how to generate them, how to get them there, how to make them make it happen. And it does not going to happen. It doesn't always happen then. It may happen 10 years from now, 15 years from now. I mean, just even this podcast thing that's going on, this phenomenon that's going on, it's really kind of bloomed the last 5 years. And I would never thought it 5 years ago that we would be doing this, or the thoughts we came to do this, right? It came from a thought I had doing something else, and it developed to what we have right now. So, and I mean, we're like I said, we're in our mid. I ain't gonna say by age, but anyway, but the fact is that we have an opportunity now to kind of take this and take it to whatever direction we want to. Yeah. I mean, it came an idea to a goal to a plan now. We're executing it. We can do whatever we want with it. We can change our lives and everybody's lives around us doing this. Yeah. Not everything's gonna happen. Not everything first. I think the younger generation quits so easily. Yep. And I mean, you're going to have to go through some trials and tribulations. It's going to take a lot. Some people, it happens instantaneously. I have friends that they came out in their careers, they're business owners. They just came out and everything magnetically happened overnight. Well, not overnight, but they were prepared and it happened for them. It may not happen to me the same way, but at the same time, the goal is for all of us to flourish and to do what we love. And we love doing this. And that's just, to me, don't ever give up. You're gonna have some hard days, but long and nights, right? And it's gonna be sometimes it can be a little lonely. Sometimes it can be, and you could be in situations where you just don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know what's next. But if you stay focused, keep your faith, stay driven. I mean, over time, it always manifests. It all works out. Yeah. So that's one thing that I wish I thought about that when I was younger as well. I'm just glad I kept that approach. And I would tell anybody, any young person around me, that you just keep doing, just keep staying focused, and you'll get there. Yeah.
Okay, Cortina, why don't you answer that? Why don't you let's go. I want to hear what you have to say with that.
In regards to,
like, what would you tell yourself differently about staying the course?
So that
I put you on the spot. Very seldom do you get speechless.
I know,
She's
right?
real quiet.
I would have to say that the work is worth the reward. Although it does not feel good at the particular time when you're in that building process, sometimes you feel very alone. Sometimes you feel very isolated. Sometimes you feel very misunderstood. But sometimes you have to be isolated in order for your dreams to really be able to be manifested, because you can't have everybody in your ear talking to you, because how can you really hear what your truth is if you're hearing from everybody else? So you have to have that period of isolation in order for you to be able to elevate to where it is that God has you to, be on the path for. And so I think I personally had to experience that. I'm not going to say lost, but someone who was very near and dear to my heart, who I thought would be with me to the end, when I was in my isolation period, they kind of fell off because they did not understand the process. And it wasn't for them to understand. It was for me to be able to grow to get to where I am today. And so I had to be patient. I had to give myself grace. And I had to also understand that this was just part of the process. Because if I would have continued to hold on to that relationship, I would not have gotten to where I am today. And so just trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, going through the process and knowing what's on the other side is better than what you think you're holding on to.
Preach.
Yes, sir. And you know what? I agree fully with that, because if you don't take care of yourself and take care of your own mental, nobody's going to take care of that for you.
True.
You have to take care of yourself and your own mental. And like you said, you have to have time for yourself, because if you don't, you'll run yourself raggedy of trying to take on all these different projects and trying to get to the top, but then you lose focus because you've got so many things going on. And like I said, you have to take care of your mental and you have to take care of yourself. So I agree with you fully on that.
Oh yeah, I 100% agree. 100%. So gentlemen, where can everybody find you individually, and then where can people listen to the podcast?
Yeah, so we're on all podcast platforms: Apple Podcasts, iHeart, Spotify, Breaker, Anchor, you name it. But people can also go to our website, allgainbrothers.com. The podcast, you can listen there. You can buy all your merchandise, the hats, T-shirts, hoodies. We thinking about expanding, eventually. Yeah, Facebook, All Game Brothers Podcast, Instagram, All Game Brothers Podcast, Twitter, Brothers Arguing. We're on all the platforms. So definitely, we love the feedback. We love people to support us, but we have to continue to push, like you all said. We just got to continue to, press forward. We know what's on the other side of that rainbow, so we definitely thank you ladies for having this platform and, having us four on here. And, we love what you're doing. So anything we can do, to help you ladies, we're here for you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And again, I want to thank you guys again for this Women's History Month and just for you guys doing your thing, just representing for the women.
He's on it, man.
All right, look, I'll let you all stay put while we wrap up a little bit. Cortina, where can people find you at?
Everybody can find me at The Girlfriend Therapist on all social media platforms. The Girlfriend Therapist, your resident therapist for all of your mental health needs.
Okay. And so you can find me, the Unapologetic Diva, on all platforms. I don't care whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at IAMDRPGURLEY. I am Dr. P. Gurley. You can also find me at Clark and Hill Enterprise on Instagram and Facebook. And for the Herspiration brand, you can find us and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Herspiration Happy Hour, and then on Twitter at Herspiration HH. Too damn long and not enough.
Can I ask you quick? The girlfriend
therapist.
What does that consist of? Like the girlfriend therapist.
She's a therapist.
I'm a therapist.
I get that part, but what? You just
so my thing is to decolonize and destigmatize what it means for Black people to go to therapy. And so I work very hard to make sure that the environment that I set for my patients is not one that's institutionalized, not one that is going to continue to oppress their experience of what it means to go to a therapist and seek the emotional needs that they want. So when I say destigmatize, it doesn't mean you have a severe mental illness. You could be dealing with everyday problems, but you just need a non-judgmental third party to help you navigate what it is that you have going on in your life. That is me.
The couch conversationalist.
Absolutely, yes.
Couch conversation.
Beyond just girlfriends, it's everybody.
Oh, I deal with men. I mean, if you go to my website, you'll see that I am sex worker ally, kink friendly, everything, like dope boy. They like to pay me in cash. Like I see everybody.
And money spent too.
Yes.
That's right. Come in there and dump change. It's all the same.
I'll be like, y'all know I don't have no change, right? So every time they pay me, they know I don't have change. So it's like I take another amount off their next session and the next session. They be like, oh, just keep it. Oh, no, that's unethical. So I'm going to deduct it from your next session.
For facts. So you know what, you all, not you gentlemen, but just everybody who is watching, we always thank you so much for tuning in. You definitely don't want to miss the episodes. And what I will say is that I am so appreciative to everyone who is, I guess, wanting to be on this platform. I will tell you, if you are interested in being on Herspiration Happy Hour, definitely just send an email to herspirationhappyhour@gmail.com. And our lovely Louisa, who is not here right now, who had to depart, she will definitely make sure that you can get on a show. I will say, don't be in a rush to get on our platform, because I'm really proud to say that we are booked. I think the last date that I saw pop in, because I could see the emails, was all the way out to June.
Wow.
And we record live the first and third Wednesday of every month. So it is really an honor, and it makes me feel so good that people are wanting to come and be a part, because we definitely have no problem shining light to anyone. We feel like your voice matters. Whether you're a man or a woman, or you decide you don't want to have a sex, there's so much stuff going on these days. But I mean, the platform is seriously open because your voice matters. So if you really want to be on there, definitely hit us up, and we will make sure you get on. It might be in the summer, but
Better late than never.
It is truly an honor to know that people want to be on your platform. This has been my baby for, this is the 4th season. Cortina and them came on last year, and it has really been a lot of work. You all know how much work goes into podcasting. And since 2017, this has been my baby, and I have pushed for it, and I'm so grateful to really see it flourishing. So I'm thankful for everybody that came out. Tune in on the first Wednesday in April, because I don't know the date. I think it's like the 3rd or something. I don't know, but it's the first Wednesday of April, and you won't want to miss, because we'll have some more great guests coming through. Until the next time, people.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers.